Yo, what up? It's your boy JJ Stone, aka O Doctor,
And his daughter Leiyah.
and this is a review for the movie The Menu. Just real quick, let me get this out of the way so I can also use it for reals. This movie was almost perfect. The writing was exquisite. The premise was amazing. The food looked delectable. I'd probably never pay for that kind of food or that kind of meal.
I would not eat
But-
off a rock.
But the premise and the way everything was cooked and plated, it was artful, it was impressive, and the way the movie was delved out, everything was on an equal playing field. No one was spared. So it's almost a perfect movie in my eyes. You should go see this movie. It was a great film, The Menu. So with that being said, what'd you think?
I was really interested with it, like just because I didn't watch the preview and I had no idea what it was going to be about. So like obviously when you don't have any idea what something's going to be like and all you know is like, it's called The Menu. I'm just like, all right, well,
we are foodies, but we're not those kind of foodies. We just love
we just
food.
eat.
And
We don't savor. We don't just taste. We eat. Like we got some proof. We eat.
We eat, and we savored. Case in point, this evening I made a pork tenderloin, and when I tasted it, it was spicy. And Leah's like, I wanna make it sweet or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, once you pair it with the noodles, it'll be fine. It'll take the heat out. But she just wanted sweetness with it instead of cracked pepper, but just to have something a little flavored, a little different flavored. And we love food. I love smoking. If you've been on my Instagram, you know I be cooking and chefing it up. And I do be sharing, even though she looks skinny. She's just more active than me. But the movie,
it was really good. In the beginning, it was almost like documentary type. Like the way that it was filmed, like everything was just so real. Like if you felt like you were there, like everything was portrayed really well in this movie because when it was calm and everything was getting set up, everything was perfect, everything was crisp. And then as soon as like something happened, like the camera work started getting a little shaky, you felt like you were there.
Well, case in point, we just went to a wedding in Cape May, and it was by the shore at a farm to table restaurant. And it was the same kind of thing.
Yep.
The hors d'oeuvres were.
I was just like, yo. Because as soon as I saw the smokehouse, I was like, no.
Yeah, so they raised their own chickens, and they had a kale Caesar salad with walnuts. If it didn't have walnuts, I would have enjoyed it, even though it was kale. But they just had different things of food, and their chicken was funny because it's farm to table, so it's a little gamey. It's not as tender as you're used to having chicken, which is pumped with steroids and water, and it's more juicy. It was more gamey. So and they actually had
chicken
halibut.
Tenders were fire.
The chicken tenders were fire. They had halibut there too, and they talk about halibut in the movie. But again, just a place like that, when you eat at a fancy place, unless you're a fancy person that wants to savor the flavor of food and eat 3Ps and that kind of thing, it might not be a thing. But this movie brings you into that world and makes you understand very quickly how it works and what's going on. You love
this
Margot,
one,
the girl, Ayanna Taylor-Joy. You love her as an actress. She is good in a lot of things.
As soon as I saw her in the beginning, I was just like, oh, this got to be good. I thought it was going to be an action. I don't know. I thought it was going to be action because I always see her in like something really like going crazy.
So
I don't know.
At this point, let me just say, spoiler. I know a lot of people aren't going to not a lot of people, the woke people that don't like wokeness are going to like, oh, this movie's too woke. And
just because it's targeting them and they just don't like how precise it is and how accurate this movie is.
It targets, if you've ever had a dream, if you've ever had a passion, if you've ever done something you love, like if you're an athlete or a musician or a YouTuber and you're cranking out 30 videos a week and you're just like talking about one thing and you're passionate about it, it comes with criticism, it comes with skepticism, it comes with burnout, it comes with a lack of joy at some point that you lose in the moment of your craft. And this takes that to another level. A chef at his highest point, realizing he's not even cooking for joy anymore because he's reached such success that he also gets criticized. When someone's job as a food critic is to go in and just say, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, after they've given you your praise.
Yep.
The woman, the critic in this movie had made him, right? She had reviewed the meal that made him. But then after that, it's just nickel and diamond breaking him down once you built him up. And over time, he lost his joy for cooking. Now, the thing that I loved about it was how equal and fair it was. The chef gave his sous chef a chance to present his meal. And in that moment, he's telling him, don't you wish you were me? Do you think you could ever achieve my success? How great do you think you could be? Do you think you could be me? And he literally was like, no, you can never be me. You'll never be as good as me. And then he asked him, do you think you could be me? Do you want my life? Do you want what I have? Do you think you could achieve what I have?
He said just no.
No. And what did you say about that?
Just like the bluntness of it is just very you. Like you don't even try to sugarcoat things. Like I've rarely ever seen you try to sugarcoat things to anyone.
I like to be direct and precise, and I think that sometimes the world treats you with kid gloves, and at least I can give someone direct content. So I try very hard. When you were younger, yeah, I did it. But now you're older, or your friends are older, or even my peers, when someone comes to me with something, I'll be like, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong. And then they either go and fix 1, 2, and 3 and then make all the dreams come true, or they don't do it. And sometimes I'm like, look, it's not for you. And that's just me. But he was very blunt throughout the movie, and he was honest. So much so that even his third in line chef that he gave a chance to, again, spoilers, she was harassed and basically abused by the chef at the job. And she got her opportunity to present her meal, and he apologized to her for harassing her, basically asking her for sexual favors. She denied him, and she didn't fire him. And again, once you're in this upper echelon, it's like if you were to be fired, you'd lose all credibility.
Yeah.
So she stayed at the job, and he didn't acknowledge her or look at her for 8 months. And that, for a woman or a man, but mostly for a woman, because that's something a lot of women can relate to, just being that stress and that pressure, knowing that this man wants something from you and you're not going to give it to him. He's not firing you, but he's also not treating you well. He's not acknowledging you. He's disrespecting you. And he apologized to her, gave her moment to present her meal, and she almost broke down when the critic gave her a compliment on her meal, which also another thing you see in the commercials. They give the men a chance to run, and all of them run, except for the character Tyler. He's just a punk. I won't divulge his.
But his thing is just he's just in love with the idea of food, the idea of everything, the chef, everything. Like it's just his world. So like when you're so into something, even if it's like scary, I don't know. Sometimes you just stay into it.
And so I just want to wrap this up because I wanted to be under 10 minutes. The character Tyler, played by Nicholas Hoult, is the person that watches YouTube tutorial videos every day, goes to every restaurant, buys all the gear and all the equipment, never uses it, but knows how to do everything, and lives a life of wanting and admiration. He admired the chef like a father because he looked up to him and the way he cooked, and he watched all the cooking shows and how to cook and everything like that. And he knew the most intricate things about every meal. And even all the chefs were like, wow, they're impressed with blah, 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 blah. But he couldn't. He had his one moment. They gave him a chance to cook something.
And he failed.
He failed. He couldn't do it. Not because he felt the pressure, but because instead of him implementing the craft that he was learning, he just consumed content and never made anything. And that's something I yell at you about all the time.
Yeah.
When you used to be Minecraft, and I'm like, stop watching people play Minecraft and go play Minecraft. You could watch too, but you need to do the things instead of just watching someone do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like it's football. I can go out in the yard and play it, but I can't go line up. But if I watch somebody play tennis, I can go play tennis. I can go play golf. Like, go be a part of the world. He failed at that, and he was humiliated because of that. This movie, top to bottom, will make you think about, again, the joy of passion of something you've had, or how you have mistreated someone, if you have, on any level. There's multiple different levels of how people are mistreated or misusing their craft and their gift. So, man, The Menu, great movie, right?
Right.
Go watch it. Bro.
Bye.